Radiant team ban.
So for this game, we're gonna have Sanity's Eclipse playing on the Dire side and Kick-Ass Patrol playing on the Radiant, with Kick-Ass Patrol getting the first pick of the match.
10 seconds remaining.
Let me switch my overlays.
5 seconds remaining.
Alright, good to go.
Reserve time.
Hello, the next level.
Dire team ban.
So I'm being asked for my predictions of Game 2 here, and if I were to be betting on the Dota 2 Lounge, I would say Sanity's Eclipse is probably going to take Game 2 here. So far in this season's AD2L League, they are a current undefeated 5-0, looking for their 6th consecutive win. Their last game, they looked strong. They had a good team comp. You could tell that they kind of had an idea of how they wanted to play. They had early rotations from not only their supports, but their Lina in the mid lane and Nyx in the off lane. They were kind of all over the map, putting constant pressure on Kick-Ass Patrol. So I expect to see that again. Kick-Ass Patrol picking up Lesharok right out the door for their first pick, and Sanity's Eclipse picking up the what I will call Gyromancer again.
Dusk. Radiant team pick.
Ten seconds remaining.
So
5 seconds remaining.
sorry guys, I'm trying to multitask here. Being the solo caster, I'm trying to interact with Twitch chat. I'm trying to call out the play-by-play, do the analysis, and everything else. So the next level, shout-outs to him in Twitch chat, is asking me for my predictions. I've made them there. I will also throw in the bonus prediction of Vino is going to make it into this game as well.
10 seconds remaining.
Even with the draft half done now, I'm going to call a Vino coming out for Sanity's Eclipse.
Dire team ban.
Making it the true Gyromancer combination I was talking about in Game 1. Or referencing in Game 1. But the picks that are in place already are your Lesharok, your Vengeful Spirit, Tusker, and Gyrocopter. Sanity's Eclipse liked how Tusker played in the previous game, so they're going to bring him back into the mix. Kick-Ass Patrol, however, not liking how Naga Siren was played, and so they ban her out immediately as their very first ban. And then they go back to one of the default first round bans, which is Queen of Pain, who's often banned out. Lina, who had a very large impact in the previous game, still on the board. But not anymore. Now she's banned. As I say that, she gets banned out by Kick-Ass Patrol. So they looked through the heroes that were still out there, and they didn't want to deal with the Naga from last game. They didn't want to deal with the Lina from last game.
5 seconds remaining.
The 4th ban coming out soon from Sanity's Eclipse, and they actually dip into their reserve time for this ban. Vengeful Spirit being one of the supports that I think is kind of patch resistant. As long as I don't mess with her abilities too much, I think she'll always be a viable choice. She has a decent stun, and it's, you know, not a skill shot stun, it's just magic missile, click it and forget it. And then some bonus damage and some armor reduction stuff, which is but both of those are always good in almost every game. You have some teams that are a little bit more dependent on armor synergies than others, but at the end of the day,
10 seconds remaining.
your opponent having less armor isn't going to hurt you.
5 seconds remaining.
And then Nether Swap being useful just as a tempo controller and positioning controller. Sanity's Eclipse banning out the Slardar, they've decided that that was a big enough nuisance for them that they don't want to see it come back into the game. Especially since Lesh and Vengeful Spirit already have stuns themselves, so they might be limiting just the number of stuns that they have. Both teams showing some respect to one another by banning out heroes that were played well in the previous game. You had the Earthshaker banned out, you had the Slardar, you had the Naga Siren and Lena. All played last game and banned this game. So
5 seconds
you're going to see a bit of a new cast coming into this game. And so far, the only hero that made it into both games has been Tusk. So, got the line support on Sanity's Eclipse, and the Vengeful Spirit playing one of the support roles on Kick-Ass Patrol. Now, this game, you are going to see the Windrunner, as predicted in Game 1 by Sir Abracadabra. He's about 48 minutes off of his prediction, but Wind Ranger makes it. I'm going to be calling her both. I'm going to be calling her Wind Runner, Wind Ranger. I should just start calling her Wind, because that's one of the heroes that, even though the name change was forever ago, I'm slow to cement it into my brain. Bounty Hunter picked up by Sanity's Eclipse, currently one of my favorite heroes, just because he allows for kind of to use a bit of a pun here on Tusker, a snowball effect on one team or another by allowing teams to really get out of control with track gold and take advantage of that boosted gold money. And one of the most, I think, overlooked aspects of track is that bonus speed. Because as allies are near a tracked target, they get a 20% bonus speed, and that's true even for level 1 track. So, when Tusk pops out his Frozen Sigil and you get track on a target, everyone on the Dire team is going to be faster than everyone on the Radiant team, so long as they're kind of in that AoE teamfight area. Pudge being the 4th pickup from Kick-Ass Patrol. This is a bit of an odd pick. I personally think he's a bit weak against Tusker Line and Bounty early on in the game. It's not until he starts to get over that like 2,500 HP mark that he can sustain himself, because he's constantly rotting himself to death, and so he gets relatively low. You don't put too many points into the flesh heap, so the magic resistance isn't quite there until later on in the levels. And so the track, the shuriken, the stun, the finger of death, and then Tusker's physical abilities with the walrus punch and the snowball and ice shards and everything. It's going to be a tough Pudge game, I think. But if he is able to land hooks regularly, he is going to be able to control the tempo and positioning of the Dire team. I'm going to step away for just a second here to grab a drink before Game 2.
Dire team pick.
Ten seconds remaining.
Puck.
Radiant team pick.
Spectre.
Prepare for battle.
Seconds to battle.
Alrighty, I'm back. And it looks like the final pickups on both sides were a Spectre and a Puck. Spectre checking out to see what's going on in the bottom lane, and he's going to run into all 5
First blood.
of the Sanity's Eclipse
Duly
heroes.
noted.
And Professor Boop continuing to play a little aggressive. Towards the end of game 1, he started to play pretty aggressive on that Slardar, and it caught him out of position multiple times. And here he's caught out of position early on in game 2. And Sanity's Eclipse take first blood and the bottom rune. Both teams rotating back to their standard lanes now. With Pudge sneaking into the dire jungle here, but he's gonna get kind of surrounded by dire heroes here if he's not careful. Vengeful is here, but Pudge comes out. He's walking away, and the fog keeps him safe long enough that he's able to evade both Blue and Lion. If Tusker hadn't put a pointer to Snowball, he might have been able to catch him out there, but that Snowball was used previously against Spectre, and now that aggressive tri-lane getting their second kill, or at least Tusker getting his second kill in the game against Pudge. Gyrocopter actually being the one with the last hit, but Tusker being at both of those fights and snowballing his way into 2 different kills. Looks like Puck was rewarded with first blood, which is going to give him a bit of an advantage. In this middle name. I'm being told that the appropriate name for Wind Ranger is Wind Ranger with a hard G. Wind Ranger. I'm just gonna call her Wind. The red-headed forest hunter, played by Dr. Dread. And while we sit here under the pause screen, I'm gonna go through the introductions, which I did miss. You're going to have Saul playing the stand-in Saul playing the Lesharok in the mid lane. In the top lane, you're going to have SK on VS, as well as Papa Bear, who just screwed up his town portal scroll. So he's going to have to waddle his pudgy way to the top lane. Meanwhile, they're looking for someone here. I don't know, but VS was able to portal his way to the bottom lane, so kept him distracted, kept him looking for him, and it even confused me. So, SK playing the Vengeful Spirit in the top and bottom lane.
Bountiful.
You have Papa Bear playing Pudge in the top lane. Wind Ranger being played by Dr. Dread. He's poked his head into the middle lane, but it looks like he's camping out mostly in the bot lane. And Professor Boop playing the Spectre. On the Dire side, you have I Like That Panda playing Puck in the middle lane, sporting the $1 million coil headpiece made by Navi in the infamous Navi versus Alliance matchup, where the Puck Dream Coil was able to
My pride. Your fall.
keep multiple players from teleporting back to base and defending their towers. And I missed the third kill in the top lane here. Looked like a double damage on Tusk and the 3-man. Snowball was able to continue snowballing as they have been and pick off Papa Bear again, who was a little overextended, a little too far past his tower. And with a snowball and a stun on the Lion, that'll cost you. Looks like Lion put his second point into Hex, so he's going to have even more disable ready to go. Tusker pinging out his location, ready to go again. But back to finishing introductions. I apologize for taking so long to do this. You have Blue playing Tusker again for the second game in a row. You have stand-in ... on the Bounty Hunter. On Lion, you have Stupley, who's already been picking up a number of assists, harassing this
Dire's
Pudge,
middle tower is under attack.
joining Tusker and his snowballs and everything else. And then you have the Disconnection Champion, Jiggly Please, kind of playing the Gyrocopter. He had some problems with his internet connection last game and that he was getting 2K ping. He's since moved locations and got onto a different Wi-Fi, but it looks like this one's even worse as he's disconnected multiple times here at the beginning of this game. You have courtesies and thank yous coming out from Sanity's Eclipse, as well as Doge memes coming out from Professor Boop. Gyromancer / Gyrocopter reconnects. I'm taking a quick look at the effigies here. You have Shadow Fiend rocking a golden heroic effigy
It was nice of
from
you.
I Like That Panda. He invites people to hug him. Have a Earth Spirit effigy. I don't see a ton of those. And it looks like he's doing a spike, a football spike. And of course, as I'm checking out these effigies, the game resumes and I miss a kill. So, Bounty Hunter able to pick off Spectre, who looked like he had pushed up way too far. There's multiple pings coming out from the Kick-Ass Patrol team and the Dire team, and it looks like they're just discussing how that fight went down. With Bounty Hunter sitting in this lane solo, and so he should not be able to 1 versus 3 a Spectre and get kills. But he does, and he has his bottle, and he rotates to the middle lane. Puck engages against Soul, but what Soul doesn't realize is there are multiple allies in the flanks ready to support him. So, Blue shows up, he snowballs in. Tusker, not yet level 6, so he doesn't get the track gold, but he shows up, gets a little bit more experience, and ensures that there's no way that Leshrock is getting back. Everyone in the stream giving me Wind Runner, Wind Ranger pronunciation tips. And I suppose I will take them, as it lets me work on something during these pause screens. So let me try it. La 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 la. Wind Ranger. Wind Runner. Windy McWinderson. Windy McWindwind. Windy McSkipstep. Wind Ranger. Here, you know what? I'm gonna see if I can find it online. Go Wind Ranger responses. I know she says her name. Just have her up on the screen blinking at you guys for a while. Come on, Dota 2 Encyclopedia. Load up the Wind Ranger responses. While the teams make fancy art drawings, I'm going to go back to not looking at the effigies because then I'll miss another kill. But it looks like everyone's in relatively safe position. VS getting ready to stack here. Pulls at 53, but these are the poison dart guys. And the camp spawns. This ward not quite close enough to prevent it, but definitely in position to see what's going on. Wind Ranger under pressure here in the middle lane as Bounty Hunter and Puck rotate into position, try to get her a little bit beyond where she should be, but she falls back to the tower and falls back to the Lesh, and she'll be okay. So she's just kind of been running back and forth here. Or from Puck doing a little bit of harass damage. Looks like she's going to try to stack again. But you have Stupley rotating. Blue sitting up on the high ground, ready to snowball in. He's got enough for snowball and ice shards. So ice shards comes out, traps him, snowball comes in, as well as a dream coil lying there with a stun, and they're going to be able to drop him before Dr. Dread's even able to react. Just too much burst damage coming out from those 3 or 4 different abilities. Meanwhile, in the top lane, you still got Gyrocopter doing his thing. Let's take a look at the last hits. Sitting a little bit behind Professor Boop, but not by much. And he's having a relatively easy time against this Pudge so far. The supports rotating for Sanity's Eclipse are creating a lot of space, and Kick-Ass Patrol are playing, and they have to be playing relatively defensively because of it. In the bottom lane, it looks like Bounty Hunter gets another 1 versus 2 kill against a VS Inspector. Blue rotates down, he throws out an ice shot, snowballs, Track gets off on VS, and it looks like they're going to go back in. Shuriken flies, drops him low, VS turns around, stuns Blue in the face, but that move speed coming out from Track is going to let Bounty Hunter catch up. That's exactly what he does. He does get trapped in the Radiant Woods due to the ice shard. So Spectre's going to rotate down, see if he can't find him out, and he doesn't have enough mana for Shadow Walk, but Professor Boop checks the woods, but not thoroughly enough, and so Dot Dot is able to just kind of wait this one out. Wave of Terror from VS goes out. Hits Tusk, but in the meantime, Bounty Hunter's sitting back there, regenning. He's going to have enough mana for Shadow Walk now, and he's hearing these rotations. And they have been able to drop a second Observer Ward, so they're going to see the Leshrock come through the jungle, and Blue drops back to his tower just in time. He sees the 3 heroes in the lane down here. So he throws out a little bit of harass, but he's just going to sit back and collect some experience. In the top lane, you got a missile harassment coming out from Jiggly Please. It lands. Lion rotates around, gets the stun, gets the hex. Jiggly Please going to be able to drop him. Spectre ults. And you have Yellow teleporting top as well. Oh, and he just teleports. He doesn't actually haunt in. Not quite sure why he didn't just haunt in, our reality shift. But he does that, he throws the dagger, and And it looks like most of them are going to be able to get away. Oh, Puck with an excellent phase shift is able to dodge the Lesh stun, the split earth, but Lesh's lightning storm damage, and I think he had his pulse nova rolling there, is enough damage to bring him down. Wind Ranger! Could say it like a pirate.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
So with Kick-Ass Patrol finally getting their first kill of the game, dropping Puck, they're going to use this as an opportunity to pressure one of the lanes, hit this tier 1 tower mid. Wind Ranger, not quite level 6. They're able to spot out Bounty Hunter and drop him. I missed the Pudge kill, but they drop Sanity's Eclipse, and Puck drop Leshrock as he tries to rotate away as well. Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, Tusker picks off a Vengeful Spirit who is trying to defend by his lonesome. Spectre is porting in, but Ice Shards, Snowball, and soon Walrus Punch will all be ready to go. So he's going in, he's harassing. There's the Walrus Punch. Ice Shard's going to be ready in a second. He tosses him, and the Urn ticks him down and drops him. So Tusker picking up the Bounty Hunter who joined the fight, but Tusker's getting really low on mana. VS throws out a stun, but Track and Shuriken are out. So Tusker is going to eventually fall, having committed very aggressively, but getting 3 kills out of it. Track goes off on the Lesh, so the 2 other Radiant players do have that increased movement speed, and they're just kind of dancing around. And with Lion hitting level 6, he's going to have enough for Finger of Death. He tosses it on Lesh, and the dagger slightly off the mark on Bounty Hunter, so he's going to be able to invis again in 1 second. He does. I like that Panda rotating down as well, seeing if he can help out his allies. Looks like the Lion was able to just walk back and teleport back to base, so he's going to be good. Dream Coil being dropped, but missing everyone. And Puck slightly out of position now. He jaunts away. He's trying to get back. Blue, meanwhile, has respawned, teleported mid, and rotated. So they are able to drop Spectre. The 2 supports chasing after Puck. He orbs away. He's going to be safe. But Lesh is able to drop Bounty Hunter with a split earth. They also pick off a VS, and now Papa Bear and Blue going at it. I don't suspect Blue will be able to make it out. He doesn't. That's the second kill, and a double kill for Leshrock, but it's also a double kill for Blue. And it's a 3-for-2 trade going the way of Sanity's Eclipse, deep inside of the Radiant side territory. Meanwhile, Jiggly Please, the McDonald's farmer, sorry, reading Twitch chat here. They're apparently now getting my non-coverage of the hero kills when I was looking at hero effigies. Meanwhile, the Radiant jungle continuing to be a very violent place. Lion, Puck, and Bounty Hunter all chasing down and tracking the Wind Ranger. Getting another track kill, and so far the game is heavily one-sided, 21-5 in favor of the currently undefeated Sanity's Eclipse. Dream Coil being dropped by Puck on Professor Boop, who's trying to find a little bit of farm. Hook off the mark by Papa Bear, so it's not going to be able to save Professor Boop. And with that, he runs in to try to defend his ally. He's not able to get it. Puck Orb finishes the drill. If he didn't, I think the missile that had been released from Gyrocopter / Gyromancer would have been able to get the kill anyway. Track being placed on Lesh, so they'll see him running around with the last few seconds of his haste. They get the silence off on VS. A little bit of harass damage there, drops him to half. 2 heroes tracked up. Wind Ranger clearing out the Dire Ward that was just on the edge of the Sentry Ward. So they have dewarded their first aggressive jungle ward, but the one by the small camp has continued to be there for the entirety of this 15-minute game so far. The dire jungle being just a lethal place.
Radiant's top tower is under
Lion running in behind enemy lines, not really giving a crap about towers and heroes, and he just fingers BS in the face and finishes the drill. Meanwhile, Hook lands on Gyrocopter. He's able to do a little bit of damage, and he drops Leshurok, but he goes down himself, and now the chase is on. Bounty Hunter tracking up Papa Bear, and with the Tusker, what is it, Fist? Walrus Punch? He's gonna fall. VS teleports in, tries to save their hard carry. He gets the swap off, but it's too late. Shuriken had already flown. But now Tusker and Bounty Hunter both fall as well, giving Leshurok another double kill. So in each of these skirmishes, Lesh is getting a few kills for himself, and he's sitting on 7 and 6, but several of his allies are taking quite the beating. Puck silences Lesh, and he gets the blink off. He does the phase shift blink combo, with phase shift just being skilled to 2 points right now. There's actually a very brief window where
Gather round.
you can hit Puck and prevent him from being able to blink.
Why do you hate
Wind Ranger being a little bit too far past the tier 1 tower, as well as VS, and Gyrocopter popping them both down, throwing the homing missile onto the Wind Ranger, and his ultimate, the call down, both strikes hitting him and finishing him. Puck rotates back in with invisibility and a full bottle, gets a big 2-hero orb, and a double kill for his efforts.
creatures?
Two-hero waning rift.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
And that's 3 heroes down.
Middle tower has fallen.
Bounty Hunter picking off another solo kill against Spectre in the bottom lane. So the Spectre is currently sitting at 1 and 8, Pudge sitting at 0 and 9, and Vengeful Spirit sitting at 0 and 6. The only hero on the Radiant side who currently has any real kills, any real farm, is Leshurok, and it shows in the charts. The first 4 out of 5 heroes on the Dire side are leading the net worth charts. The only one not beating the Dire side is the 5th slot hard carry Lion, and he doesn't seem to mind. He's playing really aggressive. He's diving into multiple heroes behind towers. His finger is up. He's ready to go. He's ready to fight. Homing missile coming in on Professor Boop, as well as a fissure. Not fissure. Excuse me. A stun from Lion. And they're going to throw all of their skills towards the Lion in hopes of killing him. They are able to drop him. But Gyrocopter popping all of his skills, his flak cannon, his rocket barrage, and just cleaning the house. The AoE damage coming from Gyrocopter this early is just punishing Kick-Ass Patrol, and it's showing on the scoreboard.
Radiant's bottom
Currently
tower is
38
under
to 10.
attack. Radiant structures are fortified.
With Gyrocopter having 10 kills and 10 assists under 20 minutes. So he's involved in more than a fight a minute at this point. Every 60 seconds he's either killing someone or getting an assist. And that's not his entire team, that's just him. So even with Bounty Hunter having the advantage of track gold, Bounty's sitting in second for overall net worth, just because this Gyrocopter has been so involved in all the fights so far. And you can see there he picked off the entire wave with that flak cannon. So his last hit's not too shabby either, leading the game with 91 last hits. Slightly above Puck, who has 81, and then you start to drop pretty significantly to the safe lane Spectre, who falls yet again as the Dire team just rotates around trying to find any farm they can. on the Bounty Hunter, getting caught inside of some ice shards, but he'll wait it out, hang out in the back lines. Just looking for a Radiant person to pop their head out so he can throw out tracked gold. And this game's looking, I don't want to say over in its entirety, but they're down by 31 kills, so it's gonna be a hard road to recover from.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
And that's the second tier 2 tower to fall in the past 30 seconds on the Radiant side of the map. So right now, they are sitting at the 20-minute mark with vision of their base, and that's it. A little bit of tier 2 tower. Pudge is able to land a hook against Tusk. Call down coming behind the barracks, and the Dire team have such a gold and experience advantage right now that they're just diving behind enemy lines and not really getting punished for it. They get 4 kills with only the Tusker falling so far. Spectre's hiding out in the side jungle, or on the side woods there. He doesn't want to get caught out. He doesn't want to throw what little gold he has away. So he waits for the rest of his team, the Pudge buyback, and the rest of his team to spawn. Looks like Pudge is just kind of waiting, seeing what the Dire team do. And according to Radiant Vision, it looks like they're backing off. And they do. They back off. They circle mid. And it looks like what they're going to do is just make sure that pressure is constantly being applied on all lines here. So they push this back. They make sure the middle lane is pushed into their base, top lane is pushed into their base, and the tier 2 tower is under pressure. And the tier 2 bot is under pressure, so that they can safely just walk over to Roshan and drop him. There's a Solar Crest out from Tusker right now, so he throws that up on Roche, who falls very quickly. And it looks like Gyrocopter picks up the Aegis, which is smart at this point. He's sitting on the most damage in the game with the flak cannon and everything else. He'll make good use of it. I suspect we'll see him be even more aggressive and dive even further behind those barracks now as they go to make use of this Aegis and apply the final pressure to the Radiant base. Radiant know it's coming. They get in position to defend their tier 2 here. Flak cannon goes off by Gyrocopter. And they nickel and dime this tower down. Puck blinks ahead, gets 2 heroes caught out in a Dream Coil. He orbs ahead to try to get a Waning Rift off, but he's stunned. Right after the stun, though, he is able to get Waning Rift off, and so he silences 3 heroes, and that's going to be enough for his allies to come in and drop the entirety of the Kick-Ass Patrol team. A triple kill and an ultra kill going onto Gyrocopter. 2 buybacks immediately used by Kick-Ass Patrol on the Leshrock and the Spectre. Everyone backs off, lets Gyrocopter kind of sit up front with his Aegis. They earn him up, get him above half health, and they're ready to go back in. Puck blinks ahead. There's a double silence going off on Lesh, and Professor Boop getting caught in a snowball and ice shards, and he's going to go down. So all 5 heroes staying clumped together very closely right now for Sanity's Eclipse. They're moving as one unit, and even with Leshrock in the game, ooh, the power shot from Wind Ranger catching 2, almost killing Puck. It does kill Bounty Hunter, and they're able to stun and hook the Gyrocopter into enemy territory behind the racks there. Call down, and Snowball coming out from Tusker is able to pick off Pudge, and then Gyrocopter rotates around, picks off VS again, and now they're one man down. Bounty Hunter's fallen. The Aegis is fallen. Puck is constantly at death's door. Looks like he gets a Waning Rift off, but he didn't get the blink, so it looks like a little bit of a misplay there. The power shot had disabled his blink, but he is able to rotate. Frozen Sigil being placed by Blue to allow he and his allies to escape. Gyrocopter playing objective gaming, popping BKB, popping his missiles, popping Call Down again, and dropping Leshrac and Spectre for what feels like the third or fourth time this fight, but he also gets hooked the second time this fight. And this time it'll actually be his death. They are able to get the melee racks down. And the two supports from the Dire team looking to see if they can't drop VS one last time. Blue throwing ice shards, and he is able to kill him. Pudge, meanwhile, fighting Lion. He's able to kill Lion, but Blue's still very much in the fight. Looks like Dot was able to get the last second track off on Pudge, so they'll get that bonus gold. Wind Ranger back up again, power shotting, looking to get nuke damage down. The Orchid being placed upon Wind Ranger, and between that track and a Shuriken, she goes down. BKB popped by Bounty Hunter, and he's looking to turn and kill the Lesh. Blue steps back a couple feet, just so that he can get some distance to get a little momentum behind his snowball before he runs into Lesh.
Barracks are under attack. Radiant's bottom barracks have fallen. Killing spree! Yah! Was there a bounty on me? No doubt.
Missing a few play-by-plays here, but long story short, the Tusker and Bounty Hunter eventually die, having overcommitted into KAP's base, but it doesn't matter because they pick off several more kick-ass patrol heroes. And now I like that Panda going one-on-one against the Pudge. Or I guess two-on-one. But he blinks deep into enemy territory. He gets shackled against the tree. And Wind Ranger is able to drop Puck, but Lion, having a blink dagger of his own, decides to join the fight last second, gets a finger of death off on Pudge, and picks up a consolation prize in the meat potato. Jiggly, please, looking to get a little bit of farm, apply some more pressure. He gets swapped out by VS, but pops BKB and turns the fight. He gets a call down, lands on just VS. It looks like the second missile might have caught Professor Boop, and he's jiggling around, he's dancing around. He drops Leshrac, and now it's 2 versus 1 against Professor Boop. Professor Boop is able to drop Gyrocopter, and it looks like Lion as well, but Bounty Hunter picks him off. And then he turns on Wind Ranger, who's already been like more or less two-shot by Bounty Hunter in the past. So as soon as he gets tracked, he's going to wind run away, get back to the fountain, make sure there's plenty of distance between him and the Bounty Hunter, regardless of how low he is. But Bounty, having vision up on him, is trying to hang out deep inside enemy territory. Pudge decides he wants to get aggressive, and he is able to get Bounty Hunter killed for his efforts, but it's just going to feed more gold to the Puck, and at this point a 1-for-1 trade, almost regardless of who it is, favors Sanity's Eclipse because it allows them to continuously apply pressure to these tier 3 towers and to these barracks.
Radiant's middle barracks are under attack.
Gyrocopter finishing off the first barracks in the middle, the melee barracks. Dream Coil landing on 2, Waning Rift landing on 2, as well as the Orb. Gyrocopter turns. Boop breaks the coil, gets a little bit of a stun. The homing missiles put on him. The missiles are dropping him down, and VS trying to survive for as long as he can, seeing if he can get the kill off of Gyrocopter. He's not able to, and Gyrocopter trying to jiggle his way to freedom, but Papa Bear not letting him. He catches him with a rod. Jiggly please calls GG, and Lesh is agreeing.
Radiant's top barracks
Lesh is saying they called GG.
Radiant's top barracks are under attack.
But
Radiant's top barracks have fought the dire now.
but this game's pretty over, regardless of how you look at it. It's 73-22.
I missed the mark.
Fresh mate.
Little bit of
Let the world
North
know
American
now.
banter going
It matters not to me.
back and forth.
Transfigures once again. It feels good to get that off my chest. Screw business. It just got personal. The trail goes cold.
Kick-Ass Patrol trying to make a last stand here, and they are able to kill 4. And the 5th one falls, and so that is a team wipe for Sanity's Eclipse. But it's too little, too late, I think. The Mega Creeps are here. That is, holy crap, a 13k gold exchange going in favor of Kick-Ass Patrol, and a 12k XP advantage going their way. But as it's already 30k in favor of Radiant in terms of experience and over 40k in terms of net worth, that's not going to be enough. Some more back and forth being tossed between the teams, as I believe it was Lion who accidentally called an early GG. Oh no, it was Jiggly Please on the gyrocopter, but captains need to call it, and the captain is Puck.
Radiant's courier was caught in the crossfire.
Fresh mate.
Looks like Radiant closed the blast door.
And so there may be some discussion after the match as to whether or not Gyrocopter calling GG after the score was 60-10.
Radiant's middle tower is
And whether or not that was an official GG, but again, he's not the captain. Puck is the captain, and neither captain has called GG. And right now, it's Sanity's Eclipse are just kind of dicking around, farming, racking up the scoreboard, padding stats, throwing out multi-hero dream coils. Lion's running around fingering people here. Puck's blinking around. He's got his Shiva's guard. So they might be going to the rule book for some official decisions, but I am not a league official, so I will leave it to the AD2L people to decide. But as far as thrones go, the Radiant throne has fallen, and on my screen that reads that it's the second straight Sanity's Eclipse North American victory, and the the sixth straight victory for them in this league, putting them at an impressive 6-0 win.